This is the greatest advertising opportunity since the invention of cereal.
And much like my identical twin brother, only just slightly less handsome, Don Draper from the TV show Mad Men once said, what I'm about to break down is the greatest YouTube ad since the creation of the internet. Or close. I'm John Benson, and this is Sales Copy Secrets. Welcome back to this video channel and to me and to all that is good in life. And this is my top converting YouTube ad, a step-by-step breakdown. Today we're going to dissect what made it so good, what made those leads click, what made us some money. I think it can help make you some money too, and that's a good thing, right? Right. Now this original ad was only about 5 minutes long, and I pulled out just about every copy trick you can think of. So if you are a copywriter looking for copywriting tips, or if you are looking for copywriting techniques, or if you are a marketer who sells anything online, this is for you. Let's dive into the training. Psych! Before we dive into the training, I got to tell you why you got to watch all the way to the end. It's very important because guess what? It's not just the copy that made this work. It's how I shot it. Now, I shot this on a freaking iPhone, okay? Girlfriend walking around with an iPhone. I mean, no production value whatsoever. I did shoot it in my apartment, and my apartment is overlooking, a nice place. So I had that wow factor, but I spent no money on the production of this at all. But it's how we did it, and you can totally replicate it. So now let's really dive into the training. So again, I'm not going to share with you every word that I wrote. That would be, first of all, a very long video. Second of all, that could lead to plagiarism. Not that you would, but somebody may, I'm going to show what I wrote in specific places, and please take that not word for word, meaning that if you're going to use it, modify it, make it your own. Don't steal it word for word, because that's going to hurt me. It's going to hurt you, because YouTube will punish both of us. Not a good idea. Okay, but I want to teach you why I wrote it, how I wrote it, so you can learn and actually create something better. That's what we all want, right? Cool. So I opened the 5-minute ad with this. Want an easy way to boost the revenue power of your sales letters to get more leads, make more sales, and generate more profit? Now notice what I'm doing there in the very first sentence. More, more, more. Do you think that was accidental? Nah. Do you think I was into cut and paste a little too much? Nah. More, more, more. No, it starts off with a question that is loaded with benefits, okay? Boost the revenue power of your sales letters, okay? Get more leads. But what else am I doing here? I'm qualifying who's watching this ad. Now, with YouTube, we can qualify fairly well, but not perfectly well. So right off the bat, I'm going to just disengage somebody that doesn't have a sales letter, but that's okay. I don't need that person. It's not a good fit for what I'm trying to sell. So look at the next line. Then I have good news. Pretty simple, right? In this video, I'm going to introduce you to a way to create your own highly effective video sales script. Now, I don't say video sales letter or VSL. I don't want them to know we're talking about VSLs. Not yet. Video sales script sounds a little bit more interesting, a little bit different, and certainly a little bit easier. Without having to rely on an expensive copywriter, okay, what we're doing here, benefit without pain. Might you notice that from some of my other videos? But check this out. Benefit, pain, benefit. Get it done in under an hour. So how's that for a little twist on the formula? I want to show you how to do something positive without negative and something positive. Simple, right? And don't worry, what are we doing here? Going back to the negative in another sentence. You don't need to be a writer. So I am in that first few sentences, I am nailing a ton of objections and giving a ton of benefits. Just boom, 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 boom. I end with this. How is that even possible? Keep watching and I'll show you. That's important. Keep watching is the NLP command. How is it possible? Intrigue. Next, I gave basically a brief introduction of who I am and how badass I am. I've only in 3 paragraphs, kept it super short, but it contained 2 really important sentences I want to point out to you. First, I made sure to mention that there are 3 secrets that you can use starting today in this video. So that's super important because now they're watching this video knowing that they can just watch the video and get started. They don't have to do something else, which is true. And I put 3 secrets in there to give them an idea of how long this was going to take. I'm not doing 27 secrets, just 3. Now, I also had this line, and I'm going to put some caveats in here as you're going to see the pictures on the screen. And it went something like this. I took the profits from my very first video script, selling just a measly $37 ebook, and moved into this home in Malibu, California, a $5 million estate overlooking the Pacific Ocean. And then I showed pictures of my former house. Now I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you probably don't have a Malibu beach home mansion, okay? But for what it's worth, I didn't either until I wrote my very first video sales letter. So there's that to think about. But even if you don't, it's totally okay. I don't like to do the braggadocious thing, as you probably know if you've watched any of my videos before. I'm a big believer in modest introductions. YouTube is a slightly different animal. I need to stand out from the crowd a little bit. I need to give them a wow factor. I decided to put that in there, and it played very, very well. And also, it's the truth, so it's the benefit of being honest. But if you have something that is talking about money, in other words, if you're on YouTube saying, I'm going to show you how to start a business or make more money online or whatever, and I'm showing people how they can take video scripts and increase the selling power of their sales pages, I need to prove that I know what I'm talking about. So you need to show some sort of visual credentials, if you will, or at least some testimonials. If you don't have that, say, hey, listen, I really know what I'm talking about. Look at all these testimonials and just flash them on the screen really, really quickly. That will work. The bottom line is you do want to give some kind of social proof that you know what you're talking about and that you can deliver on what you're promising. Now, from there, I went into the teaching segment, and the teaching segment of my video was 3 minutes. I had about a minute intro, about 3 minutes of teaching, and a 1 minute call to action. Good formula to follow, by the way. But what I did is I switched from being on camera this whole time, and well, sort of on camera. As you'll see, I actually had this trick on how we filmed it. Pretty freaking cool. But I went basically on camera to slides. I went to a video sales letter format, a VSL format, because I'm talking to somebody basically about video sales letters. So I went to all slides, and that was my teaching. And it's easier to teach that way, by the way. It's easier for people to pay attention to just words on the page when you're teaching. So pretty cool. I thought that worked out really well. I hadn't seen that done, and I think that was one of the reasons why the ad was so successful. And I still can't say the word successful very well. And after the teaching segment, I cut to the call to action. But before I share the call to action with you, let me ask you something right now. Have I earned your like? Have I earned your trust? Have I earned your endless, forever admiration? Then pulverize that like button, smash that bell for notifications so you can tell when my new videos drop. Subscribe if you haven't already, and do me a favor, leave me a comment. That really keeps me going, helps the channel grow. I love you, I appreciate you, I dig you, and all that other kind of jazz. And let's get on with the training. Okay, so let's look at the call to action I used. It's a little bit long, and this is actually the setup to the CTA. The CTA stands for call to action, but I want you to see what I'm doing here. If you're ready to create your own highly effective hypnotic video sales scripts that can make you a lot of money without having to be a writer and without having to rely on an expensive copywriter, and get it done in under an hour, and best of all, I'm going to stop right there. That sounds like, oh my God, it's a grammar teacher's nightmare. Right now, my 6th grade grammar teacher is like, Mrs. Page was her name. I remember that. Or Mrs. Page, Miss Page, something with the last name Page, pulling her freaking hair out like, you evil bastard, you're ruining the English language. I don't care, because we're copywriters, not grammar professionals, okay? So that's okay to do what I just did. So look at the copy. If you're ready to create your own highly effective video sales scripts, etc., but look at the word hypnotic. So I put hypnotic video sales scripts as part of my hook in this particular script. Very good hook. But notice I am using the word you. But John, in the last video, you said don't use the word you in ads. Well, in Facebook ads, that is correct. In YouTube ads that are kind of long, you can get by with it for now. I know, it's a crazy world. You got to figure out what works. And if you can get by with compliance, boom, use you. We got by with it without any problem on YouTube. Currently, current year, check with an attorney. So hypnotic video scripts make you a lot of money. Benefit, without pain, being a writer, without hiring a copywriter, pain, right? You get in the picture? Get it done in under there. Pleasure. Back and forth, pain, pleasure, blah, blah, pain. I swear, I feel like I had a birthday party last night. I feel like I'm still drunk, even though I didn't even get drunk. This is very embarrassing. I usually need alcohol to screw up the English language this poorly, but let's keep going. Okay, pain, pleasure, back and forth, like a freaking ping pong match, man. That's because what are we doing? We're tapping into duality, our old friend duality. Duality is so powerful. I'm using it continually throughout this. And best of all, leverage software we've created that mirrors the highest converting video sales scripts online today. Okay, that's pretty cool. In other words, we've got software that looks at scripts and goes, oh, this one's really good, and boom. They can create it basically on their own. And this is actually just Now VSL. That's how we created Now VSL. So I am just basically making a very fancy, cool way of saying Now VSL. Guaranteed to convert for you in minutes rather than months. Okay, then here's what I want you to do right now. This is actually not to go to a sales page. This is going to go to a quasi teaching video that is a call to action at the end to actually pick up the phone and call us, because we sold at the time a more expensive version of Now VSL. So be sure to sign up for my free Now Method workshop on mirror scripts. Mirror scripts, as you probably have guessed, is the hook, and I call that the primary solution. We've gone over that in other videos, check below, but you want to have one of these puppies in your marketing. Mirror scripts, freaking good one too. That was the one that really sucked people in, because it sounds like something that, wow, it could really help, right? It sounds like something that you want, but you don't know what it is. Those are the really kind of juicy primary solutions and hooks that I really like to use. So my workshop, it's free, mirror scripts, how to use them, double, even triple your existing sales. So lots of promises there, okay? After all of that, I list 3 bullets that will be covered on the workshop. And these bullets were basically right out of my bullet video that you can see below. You can check that out for yourself, but I'm going to read them to you anyway. Ready? The one thing technique that is crushing all other VSLs and sales letters when it comes to closing the sale, and how you can apply it immediately to every sales message you write. Hint, this explodes email clicks and sales. So that was a pretty damn juicy bullet, right? This explodes email clicks. Well, people want more clicks in their emails, but exploding them, you can see that, right? Remember, we're using juicy visual verbs here, right? It's crushing all the other techniques. It's exploding, okay? How to immediately get the attention of even the most skeptical prospect from cold traffic or a tired old mailing list and ethically hypnotize them to take action, okay? That's a cool one, right? Plus, how a simple app we've created can do all of this for you, okay? So basically, I'm saying you're going to get to learn how to do this, and oh, by the way, there's a software application that does it all for you anyway. So guess which one of my bullets is the most important one? It's the typical 3-step process, okay? Step number 1 is good, step number 2 is good, step number 3 is like, well, it's better than all of them put together. You can basically get rid of the first 2, just do number 3. So what I've done is basically narrow the process down to one thing, and that one thing happens to be my software, Now VSL. Then I go on to repeat the call to action, over and over again. Click the link you see in the video below. Pretty straightforward stuff. And as promised, now I want to show you the thing that I believed helped push it over the edge, and that is how we shot the thing. Okay, so check this out. Okay, so I've muted this here, but this is me saying the same basic copy that you just read. But notice what I'm doing. I am backing up as I'm reading. I'm backing up, and I'm using my television set on a makeshift stand. I just pulled it over there, made a makeshift stand. You can even see my laptop in the background. Keep watching for 3 minutes and 39 seconds. That's pretty cool. And now I'll go into exactly what I was talking about. I go into showing myself speaking on stage. I go into all that stuff, and I keep cutting back and forth to this particular set. But I want you to watch this again. I am walking backwards, and it's an interesting look, and it got the attention of the viewer. And I've also got a very beautiful view, obviously, so that's going to get their attention too, but you don't necessarily need this. I actually got the idea from watching somebody else's video that did the very same thing, and he was walking backwards in a studio, and it was just a brick wall in the background. But notice the keep watching for 3 minutes and 39 seconds. That's my final tip. You want to have a keep watching for X, and I use a really weird number like 3 minutes and 39 seconds because that will get attention. Okay, so that was my top converting YouTube video broken down step by step for you. So now you know how to create a lucrative, hopefully cash producing video sales script that you can use to grab leads and convert them into buyers. I wish you the best of luck with that. And I want you to know something. I want to hear how you do with it. I want you to comment below and let me know if you can use these tips to your benefit. It's another way that you can build that funnel that we talked about in the previous video. You can go from a Facebook ad to a YouTube ad that's longer. You can say more. Right now you can get by with saying more, like personal pronouns and more aggressive claims, not crazy claims, but a little bit more aggressive. And we found that to be very successful. So you could use this in place of that Facebook ad and still create your super simple sales funnel. That's pretty cool. Okay, in my next video, I'm going to be covering part 4 of the $50 million sales letter. You will not want to miss this because it's one of the most important parts of the entire sales letter, and I want to make sure you get this one underneath your fingertips so you can go out there and make even more bank. Oh, and one more tip for you. Like, share, sub, and smash that bell for notifications. I am John Benson, and I'm here to help make you unignorable.